10-4 bubble ducks indeed.
I almost fell over.
So, hello everybody. Those of you who are listening, we are No Thoughts Just Frosting. I'm Tara, and
Nikki.
okay. And this was just a thought. Like, literally, this is the pilot episode. Sorry if we ramble. There's going to be a lot of banter today. There's going to be a lot of banter
sorry.
all the time.
We always ramble.
Yes, there's lots of rambling involved. But my boyfriend, or sorry, my fiance, sorry, I'm planning a wedding and I'm still trying to get used to referring to Jordan as my fiance. So, but Jordan came across, or he ran in, I can't talk today. Yep.
Hey, I'm a strawberry.
But no, Jordan came up with the idea that Nikki and I should start a podcast, and I ran that
2 years ago. Yeah.
Kind of, but he reminded me of it like a couple months back.
Oh, did he? Okay, yeah, because I know he said something like 2 years ago about it. And we're like, yeah, that's great. And we got distracted.
We always get distracted. But so here it is. I brought the idea back up to Nikki, and she's like, "We're calling it No Thoughts, Just Frosting." And I said, "Yes, but what are we gonna do it? Like, what is the topic or topics?" So
all of it.
Yes, all the things. But for the most part, I would say it's going to be about like 75 to 80% either paranormal, art and photography, or metaphysical shit.
Yep.
But lots of banter, lots of rambling, lots of personal stories, and just we get a little opinionated. So yeah, we say the podcast is called No Thoughts, Just Frosting, but we actually have a lot of thoughts, and we're not going to frost over them. Which, as lame as that might sound, I don't give a shit. So, but anyway, in preparation for the podcast, a couple people actually have already submitted their stories of their experiences with the paranormal, and we're actually going to read that on air tonight.
I know, I'm really excited about that. I was pretty stoked about that, hearing like when you put that one post out on Townie and stuff like that. We already it was almost instantly that we had gotten actually attention about that, because people, I think that's a good thing too for like our culture right now, is to actually share each other's experiences and then see where like our local myths and legends also relate to someone, say, over in like, I don't know, Illinois somewhere doing something over here. So that's still Midwest or whatever, but anyways, where someone else is, how they relate to your common urban legends or rural tales and whatnot.
Yeah. So this podcast is going to cover witchcraft, astral projection, or lucid dreaming. People might have sleep paralysis stories. We're also going to bring up, when the time comes, we are going to actually eventually have special guests on. This is the plan. This is the pilot episode, so there's going to be a lot of like planning and introduction and stuff and things and stuff.
Stuff and things.
But where we live, we actually are not far from a Native American reservation, and the city that the city that I live near is there's actually a old indigenous boarding school in town, and our plan is to actually have a special guest on to talk about it, guide us through the process. I've been already doing a little bit of research on it. It's scary. Like, I've driven by this indigenous school, and just from everything that has happened in its history, I'm like, ugh. This gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I mean, that kind of leads to your story, too, about, like, what we were thinking about sharing tonight, too, is,
yes,
like, the areas that hold the memories of things that have happened,
Yeah. So, without further ado, we're going to do things. I figure I will start with my story, and then we can read one submitted story, and then you can tell your story, and then we'll read the other one.
I was gonna say, I think mine's kind of quick, and it leads just to more thought than really too much commentary,
So we're just gonna jump right in. Anyway, back in the day, back in like late 2015, I got hired by a mom and pop company that delivered carry-out food from local restaurants to local people who didn't want to get out and people for the day to get their food. So I worked out of my car or I worked from home, and literally I would sit in my apartment and wait for orders to come in. I would go to the restaurant, pick up the food, deliver it to a random stranger's house, or apartment or whatever. So eventually, as the business grew, we extended to other territories. This particular story took place in the Howell, Brighton, Michigan market. And the address was in Howell, Michigan, but it was out in like the boonies. Like had to drive through woods to get to them.
Gotta tell them like it's like desolate farm, nothing but flat field, forest, field.
Yes.
Oh look, maybe I missed a dirt road.
Yeah. Yes. So I had heard years prior that the area. I'm not insinuating anything by this, but Cohocton, Michigan, doesn't exactly have a good history when it comes to racism. So I had heard that Cohocton kind of has a little bit of racist tendencies. Not saying everybody there is, but this is just hearsay.
The history was very strongly leaning towards supporting white supremacy.
Yes. So I happened to turn down a dirt road. I've already picked up the food. I am delivering it to the customer. And I happen to turn down a dirt road, and a little ways down, I see a sign that says, now entering Cohocton Township. And as soon as I said, oh, hey, we're in Cohocton, immediately I am...
Silent Hill.
Yeah, exactly. Like Silent Hill sirens, Pyramid Head might be trouncing around with his sword and just like, who's next, basically. But I am just overcome with this immense sense of dread. No event happened. Nothing happened to trigger the panic attack, but just for whatever reason, I started having a panic attack. And couldn't drive fast enough to get to the customer. This dirt road, it's at night, my brights are on so I can see oncoming deer or anything like that, and beyond, there's trees that line this dirt road, and I couldn't see anything beyond the trees.
So did it feel like you were going and it was taking extra long to get through that area, or did it feel like it took forever to get to the area, and then when you hit it, it also was like a hurry up, I need to finish this delivery?
It was kind of a combination of, it's like I'm on a treadmill, like the road is moving, but I'm not making any progress.
Oh God, okay.
And with that sensation of I'm moving, but not fast enough, and I just, the road just seemed to go on and on and on. And even if houses were nearby, and even if they had porch lights on, I could not see them beyond the trees. It literally felt like nothing existed beyond this dirt road. So it's like, I'm driving through a void. This road is the only safe space. Hooray! That's how I felt. And literally my mind was just racing. What the hell? What's going on? What the fuck? Where did this come from? Why am I feeling this way? Holy shit, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I don't like this. This is bad. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, ah! So I finally make it to the customer. And they sign off on their food, and I am speeding to get back to downtown Howell. I probably was going 15 miles over the speed limit. Don't reckless drive. But I was probably going 10, 15 miles over the speed limit just so I could get out of this area.
And is this dirt or is this gravel? What kind of road surface?
It was a rural, I was driving on a paved road by this point.
But it was still rural, so it was kind of busted up from farm equipment and stuff carrying heavy shit over it.
I don't remember that detail, but I knew there was paved roads near my customer and then a dirt road to get back to more paved roads to get back to downtown Howell.
Oh god. So the uneven surfaces, it wasn't great to be speeding.
No. So literally I was that scared. For whatever reason, that scared. Had to GTFO. So anyway, I make it back to downtown Howell. I didn't have any other orders the rest of this shift. And I'm sitting in my car just hunched in. I'm parked. I'm playing on my phone just I'm trying to calm down. I'm not able to calm down. Home was a 40-minute drive away. By the time I get home, I tell my then boyfriend, he's an ex, he's a foster possum, as we like to call ex-boyfriends.
Foster possums.
Foster possums.
Gotta be nice to them. They can't help that they're like that.
But I told him, I'm like, I don't know why, but I am just so agitated right now. I'm on edge. I don't feel right mentally. I just, you know. So he's like, you want to have a drink and smoke a little bit? And I'm like, sure, sign me up, twist my arm, say no more. 2 drinks in, I have smoked a bowl. I am still not calm. And this is like an hour, hour and a half after I've gotten home. I am still not calm. So I decide I'm going to go to bed.
Mm.
I wake up and I'm still kind of like, what the fuck was that?
Right.
So I Google Cohocton Township history.
All right. So you didn't know that it had like kind of like a racist vibe.
I did
well,
not.
Not saying that right now the town is racist, but it didn't carry that energy of a bad history.
Exactly.
A recently bad history.
Right. So Google happens to bring up some results. Come to find out that the former Grand Dragon of the KKK used to hold his cross burning rallies about a mile from the road that I was driving down. So that answers that question, and I do kind of consider myself a bit, not so much an empath, but like in tune to some of those things. Once in a while, it's almost like I can turn it off, but other times I'm just like very hypersensitive to things. I won't say, ooh, I can see ghosts in the paranormal. It's just there's things. And this was one of those things that, like, I guess triggered a response out of me that made me go, what the fuck happened here? Why am I feeling this way? So that's that. That's one of my personal stories as far as like the paranormal or ooky spooky shit. So our first submission.
Wait, no, let's not segue to that yet. Hold on.
Fair enough.
Because I've got questions about it. You know, because like that's how we were saying it related there to the old state home over there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the intentions and the emotions can make an impact and imprint on a geographical area?
Without a doubt. Because, I mean, yeah, it could be, because a lot of people say, like, oh, well, if there's faulty wiring, or in old houses, there's usually faulty wiring, or electromagnetic waves or whatever can trigger responses in people.
Right.
Be it, nausea, headaches, dizziness,
Right.
a general feeling of unrest or unwell.
Right, like using certain types of light wattage in certain super centers while you're shopping to induce anxiety and the fight or flight thing.
Yes.
So you think that somebody's bad intentions or a collective group of people's bad intentions gathered in and committed it into one single area kind of leaves a stain, like an emotional stain, that people that have that kind of neurodivergence can pick up on the electromagnetic energy of the area?
That could be, and I believe back in the day when I was an avid follower of the show Ghost Hunters on Sci-Fi Channel, hooray taps, they did, I think it was Jason Hawes, he wrote a journal post about it on MySpace and said something like, maybe people who live with mental illness aren't living necessarily with a mental illness, or their mental illness makes it so they're hypersensitive to certain things.
Right.
And I read that and I'm like, that kind of makes sense.
Well, no, yeah, and we don't understand a whole lot about how our brain works and how like certain areas interact and how different neurodivergencies interact with the way those things react and how you're able to perceive the worlds around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I, for the longest time, have believed that, like, when bad things happen, be it, like, bad emotions, bad occurrences, something leaves an imprint.
Right.
And, it's almost kind of like, one thing that kind of comes to mind is, like, in Pet Cemetery, the ground, and in some cases, it could just be the ground itself that is cursed. Soiled or cursed.
Yeah.
And it just, whenever, like, I don't remember when I started believing in it, but I remember it started with me believing in ghosts when I was a kid,
Yeah.
you know, and I've had experiences throughout my life where I'm like, that wasn't strange at all. Please note the sarcasm in my voice, you know.
Yeah, no, that was, I didn't hear my name in the woods. So.
Right, exactly. And I mean, I've heard, like, even at my job, I have seen things move out of the corner of my eye. And we believe that there's a lab ghost. And it's like, whenever I see something, I just look up and I go, good morning, and go right back to embedding tissue. So.
I always just warn whatever I can explain. If they're going to participate in my reality, they can be productive. Pay a bill or something. Maybe do the dishes. I'm not asking for much.
Right. So, but as time went on and I had more experiences and did more research about things and whatnot, and actually started believing in like urban legends and like local folklore and stuff like that, I have come to feel that, like, or believe that when bad things happen, it leaves a mark.
Oh, yeah.
And if you are of some type of way, you can pick up on that mark.
Right.
And you could either see the mark or you could feel the mark, you know, whatever.
Right.
But driving through Cohocton Township that night, there's definitely something that happened that left a big mark on that land. And I feel that I picked up on it.
Right.
And I didn't like how it made me feel. Just point blank. And there's a part of me that kind of wants to drive back just to see if I can, like, recreate that sensation or that feeling, but I also kind of want to flip two middle fingers up to the spirit of the former Grand Dragon, being like, you know what? You done fucked up, buddy. Move on.
Right. Well, I mean, and I was thinking too is that, you know, I know that at the old school, because the tribe now has that as their property and their jurisdiction, so I know that they have like healing ceremonies and things like that, which is a great thing on trying to repair the damage done. And I also have been a firm believer for a long time that when concentrated bad will is brought to an area, it leaves a stain on that area. But makes me wonder, is there any other areas in the world or in our local area that so much good has been done that it leaves that feeling of wanting to stay, you know?
I haven't really picked up on that, honestly, because the city itself is like on the reservation.
Oh,
or
yeah, no,
near
that
the reservation.
that whole town has that vibe. Like, it still has a Mayberry veneer, but it definitely has that vibe of nowhere.
Yeah. And I mean, we drive, like, when you're on M20 heading into town, it's like there's not like, you see houses, but it still just feels void.
Desolate, like void, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we're on M20, can't get to home fast enough because it's dark out. I don't like this,
Right.
you know. Let's hope, and we're gonna stay in this particular lane just in case deer decide they want to dash across the road. I have more time to react if I'm in this
Well, and
lane
that's the
versus
thing
the other.
too, is like, especially if you're not from the area, if you say run out of gas or have any kind of car trouble, like, these are pretty much towns that close down when the sun goes down, you know, like,
Yep.
not calling it a sundown town, don't associate it with that. I'm just saying that, like, everybody goes home for the night.
Yep.
You know, and you're not gonna find someone out there willing to pick you up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, you know?
Nope.
If you do, it's gonna cost you a minute, so.
Yeah, or you're gonna be sitting for a while.
Yeah, you're gonna be sitting and it's gonna cost you.
Yeah. So, with that in mind,
Yeah, what's our first submission?
our first submission is called True Ghost Story, The Man in the Lightning. And this is from, let me just peruse real quick to make sure they don't want me to change their name, which I don't recall anything being there, so...
Yeah, I know, I'm gonna have to make a point of reading these.
Yes, I will give you access to the email so you can, like...
I was just about to say, even if you just want a screenshot or something, send it to me, but if you want to add me to it, that'd be great.
Okay. So, yeah, we're still kind of for the record, we're still kind of working some kinks out. This is just, there's not a whole lot of structure per se to this
We don't want a
podcast.
whole lot of structure at the moment because we're just figuring it out.
We like to improvise, and
Organic.
we have this phrase calling "embrace the chaos." So that's what
You just
we do
gotta
here.
roll with it, because if you think you're in control of it, you're wrong anyways.
Yeah. So this is by Elizabeth. They were the first person to submit a story.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yes, very much so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll just read straight from the email. For context, I was 14, maybe 15 years old. My parents had just bought this house. I always get the creeps going outside at night, even before this, and I had many nightmares about this place, but that's for a different time if you'd like to hear.
Oh yeah, we'd like to hear.
Yes, more stories, please. It was one of those winter nights where the whole world felt alive with the storm. My friends and I were hanging out in the living room, pressed up against the windows, watching lightning light up the sky over and over. It wasn't scary at first, it was exciting. The storm was putting on a show for us, and we couldn't stop counting the flashes and waiting for the next one. An hour must have passed, and by then we were comfortable, laughing, even daring each other to step closer to the glass just to feel the rumble of thunder shake the house. That's when it happened. The next lightning strike lit up the yard like daylight, and in that blinding white moment, I saw him. A man standing at the window, staring at us.
That's crazy.
Yeah. For a second, my brain couldn't process it. It was just eyes, a face, a figure that should not have been there. Then darkness crashed back, and he was gone. I froze, and then I lost it. I bolted from one end of the house to the other, yelling for my mom, for my dad, for anyone to come quick. My dad grabbed his boots and went outside immediately. The thing is, this wasn't just a normal night. It was winter, and there was at least 1.5 feet of fresh snow on the ground. Anyone who had walked up to that window would have left deep tracks. You can't sneak in snow that heavy. Every step leaves a mark. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
But when my dad circled the house, there wasn't a single footprint. Not one. The snow was completely untouched, like no one had been there at all. I can still see it in my mind, that flash of white light, the figure at the window, and the emptiness afterward. We never figured out what we saw that night, but every time a storm rolls in, I remember it all over again.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, I'm gonna throw this out there.
Right.
I got goosebumps
Right.
reading your
Yeah,
story.
like I would just have completely shuttered windows. I'd be so not cool with windows.
I don't think I would have been able to sleep that night. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't blame you for not wanting to, because if there's, exactly, if there's snow outside, you're not going anywhere, one, without being heard, and two, without a big old trail of where you come from and where you go.
Yeah. So, and my next question would be did your friends see this figure as well? Because when you have multiple people experiencing the same thing, it makes you feel less woo-woo. You know,
Right.
it makes you feel like it's not just in your head. You didn't just imagine it. When other people share your experience, it's like, that happened. I remember it. Holy shit. You know?
Right.
So I should have asked that follow-up question in the email. Be like, did anybody else see this? Because that's cool. In a way. It's cool you had an experience, but it's not cool that it scared the crap out of you. You know?
Well, no, I mean, and that's a lifelong phobia. I definitely don't think I'd be getting over that any year soon, any decade soon. I definitely would be messed up because I don't know. Yeah, I'd be calling some people to talk to them.
Yeah.
Some people of higher expertise.
It'd be like, I saw this thing. Help me.
Right.
What do I do? You know?
Tell him to go away, that he wasn't wanted there. He had no business looking in my windows like a little weirdo.
Right? And this actually brings me to a random thought that just popped in my head. Whenever I move or take residence in a new place,
Yeah.
I always say I do this little ritual where I'll find a center part of a room or a center part of the building and say if there's any spirits, you're more than welcome to make yourself known. But I don't mean you any harm, and I expect the same from you. Don't fuck with me, and I won't fuck with you.
Right.
Thankfully, this has worked for me. And The house that I currently live in is over 100 years old, and I don't get any like weird juju vibes or anything like that.
Yeah,
So,
no, I don't have any issues.
and like, yeah, we live out in the middle of nowhere, but it's like it's peaceful out here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel like on edge by.
I mean, but you don't go wandering around in the fields and in the woods at night.
Yeah,
So, I
no.
mean, like, that's common sense shit.
Yeah, I.
Like,
I think I'm too big of a wuss. Like, I'll walk through a haunted house attraction, but like the woods at night, I'm good. I'm good.
I don't have any reason to look too far into the tree line.
Yeah, exactly. So, I kind of chalk it up to I've listened to way too many horror stories or ghost stories or paranormal stories that I'm like, just don't go in the woods. Just don't do it.
Right.
So,
And if you see any windows at night, know the fuck you didn't.
right?
Thank you, Elizabeth, for that life lesson.
So don't go near the windows during a winter lightning storm. Got it.
Right. Someone's there to see you, and you don't want to see them.
We are partaking in little drinky drinks tonight as our first podcast episode. We're doing a little celebratory. I cannot talk today.
It's because you've been doing a little celebratories.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I'm
No.
not even buzzed yet, so.
It is good, though. What would we call this little cocktail concoction?
It's very, like, chill, tropical kind of, but it's also, like, less than a week from Halloween.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I don't know. Ghost story.
It is, yeah. Let's call it Ghost Story.
Ghost story. We'll have to write. Actually, yeah, we'll have to write
write
down the
that
recipe. So I have a notebook over here, and
How many notebooks do you actually have? Because I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least 13 of them. Within eye shot.
I'm a former college kid.
You're an ADHDer that likes to collect journals for a graveyard.
Ghost story.
I love you, because at least yours are in one specific area.
Yes,
Mine are
raspberry vodka.
Scattered.
What
What were they?
What flavor of Alani was that? Not sponsored, for the record. But
Yeah.
was it like cherry slush?
No, it was some Hawaiian. I got the tropical kind.
I will write the. I can't spell
It's like
Hawaiian.
Hawaii. I'll just write. Wow.
And
Wow.
soda pop. Okay, we'll figure out the recipe later.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Soda
I have like a slew of notebooks because I am a former college kid, but long story about that I don't want to get into. But I have a bunch of unused 5-subject notebooks over here, so I have one set up next to my desk where I'm like, ooh, idea, write that down. So there's gonna be a lot of those
At
moments.
least they're all generally the same size notebooks, though.
Yeah, that's kind of.
You have a conformity to that, like.
I have doom piles, but there's an organization to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting there.
Yes.
But I have a ton of little journals, big journals, all the journals. It's ridiculous. And all of them have something wrote in them, so it's not like I can be like, here's a brand new journal. I know, I actually was sketching in my one handmade leather journal that I have earlier.
All things divine.
And then I got a little distracted and realized I was supposed to be getting dressed so I could come hang out with you instead of doing other things.
I mean, I could have come later to come pick you up.
Well, no, I know, but I had told you I was getting around, so I mean.
Right. And I was just excited. I had like mad cabin fever today, and I'm like, Nikki, let's go get food together, my treat. And you're like, okay. I'm like, I'm on my way.
You buy me food? Okay, I'm there.
I give you foods. You give me your company. We record a podcast episode, and then whatever. Eat snacks, take pictures, do stuff.
Yeah, and we did take pictures today too.
Yes, we did. And there's probably going to be more as long as it's still daylight out by the time I'm good. I haven't even eaten the pieces you gave me earlier yet.
What?
I'm excited to record. I'm sorry.
And I'm eating Reese's Pieces.
So, but yeah, also I do want to stress a little bit of like, not stress, but like a little introduction. If you hear us make comments about like ADHD or borderline personality disorder or anything like that, we're not being insensitive.
Or autism.
We're not being insensitive.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
You took all that time.
We actually are neurodivergent people, so we kind of throw that out there as well. And I don't speak for you, but
Right. I speak for Nikki. Oh,
yes.
almost
I do have
lost my
ADHD and borderline personality disorder. So, besides anxiety and whatever, but like that's just kind of everybody's got anxiety, so whatever. But where was I going with this? That's gonna happen a
we
lot.
don't mean
brain
to
farts.
offend anybody if we talk about neurodivergency
Yes.
in any kind of way that seems disrespectful.
Right. And I kind of, a part of my way of dealing with things is like laughing at myself about it,
You
you
gotta
know.
laugh. It's fucking funny.
Yeah. You know, just something happens and it's like, that's probably ADHD. You know, Jordan actually kind of joked. He's like, you probably have a touch of autism. I'm like, I probably, wait, you think I do? And he goes, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, you have sensory issues like mad. And I'm like, stop.
when your shaw got stuck earlier.
When I what? Oh
Your
yeah,
shaw?
I'm like, meh! Like
Right.
my shawl kept getting stuck on like a nail that's sticking out
I
of
was
the counter.
waiting for it because I was like, she's gonna crash out.
Yeah.
And 3, 2.
2, 1, brushes fall on the vanity, and I'm like, fuck this shit, and I throw my
Yep.
shawl on the
There
bed.
she is.
I'm like, I'm over this.
There's my friend.
Yeah, I'm just like, I got so hyper focused that I didn't notice my shawl tassels were leaning up against the brushes in the bathroom because we were putting makeup on earlier, and I lifted up and the brushes just went falling, and I'm like, fuck. So yeah, pardon me. There's a lot of swearing on this podcast, and I'm not gonna apologize
What?
for it.
Yeah, but you keep apologizing. I think this is like your 4th time apologizing.
It's a bad habit, and I'm trying
So
to break
stop
it.
being sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What can you do? But
Stop apologizing.
I'm working on it. Not really.
She's not. She says she is, but she's addicted to that shit. Yeah, what's our next submission?
I am a former people pleaser, so I am a recovering people pleaser.
I was about to say former ain't it, baby.
So let's see. Okay, mom wishes to remain anonymous. So our next story, this one, when I first received it, I actually stopped embedding tissue to read the full email, and because okay, when I say embedding tissue, I'm a histotech in my day job, and that's
no
a
big deal.
Yeah, I work in the medical field, and I work in a lab. My job is whenever you have a surgery or some type of medical procedure that requires they take pieces of tissue out of your body, I'm the person that embeds it in wax and then later thinly slices it so a doctor can make a diagnosis off the slides that we stain. So that's what a histology technician does. It's fun. It's really good for the ADHD because it is something that helps me hyper focus on like one thing with minimal distraction. And I'm like, this is what I need to function sometimes. So I enjoy my job. And my coworkers are kind of like, so you're going to start a podcast? I'm like, yes. And they're like, okay, have fun. I'm a little weird. And they're like, you go off and do your weird thing and we'll see you Monday. So anyway, who is calling me? That looks like a spam caller, and if it's important, they can leave voicemail. Sorry, my phone just went off.
What are you gonna do about your car's extended warranty, though?
I don't have an extended warranty.
I can't believe they still do that.
Right?
Can't you get me on something else, like student loan forgiveness?
Right? I would love that, because my credit score would go way up.
No, when it would go way down because you paid off all the crap that was dragging you down.
Right? And it's
Yeah.
like, you want my money, I give you the money, and you
Oh,
still
wait.
drop my credit score?
We said we weren't going to talk about these kind of things.
I don't care. It's our podcast, damn it. So, Devin submitted his story, or their story. I'm not sure if I'm not going to get into gender specifics, but Devin submitted their story. It's called Possession Story. And they start off with, so to start out, I'm actually a huge skeptic. I'm always the first to look for a plausible explanation. However, what happened to me in 2010 in South Carolina, I have no explanation for. I was around 14 at the time. Our family had just moved to a town called Pelion in South Carolina. We had
Sounds like a town that would be messed up.
Is it Pelion? Yes, it is Pelion. We had a nice place in the country. It was very remote. I don't recall even having a neighbor within a mile. Our family consisted of myself, my mom, my stepdad, my 2 younger brothers, and my younger sister. The place was way out in the country, and we had a decent amount of land to explore as kids, walking trails out back and all. Within the first few days, we found an abandoned Confederate graveyard. We liked seeing the really old headstones and thinking about the history.
Hmm.
For the first month, everything was going great. I was getting good grades and had made the football team. That all changed pretty quickly one night. It was the middle of the night, and I woke up, but I wasn't really awake. I proceeded to run full speed to the other end of the house where my mom and stepdad's room was, screaming at the top of my lungs the whole time, "Fire! Fire!" The door was closed, and I ran into it full speed and broke the door right off the hinges.
Oh.
Keep in mind, the whole time this is happening, it's like someone else was controlling me. I was aware of what was happening, but it was like I was just a spectator. And my full senses weren't there. It's like I was watching through a keyhole or something. My parents woke up scared to death, and my mom immediately came to check on me. She said I was burning up like I had a fever, but I wasn't sick. We wrote it off as a one-time thing, stress from moving and changing schools maybe. I wish that's all it was. This proceeded to happen every night for weeks. My
Dang.
parents just stopped closing the door after the third time I broke it.
Valid.
Yeah. I was also scaring my younger siblings as they thought there actually was a fire. My mom is definitely more of a believer in the paranormal than I am. She thought maybe one of the soldiers had attached to me. We ended up having to move because of it. After the move, it immediately stopped.
Oh.
We found out from the realtor that the house that was there before had burned down and the family died in the fire.
Jeez, oh. See, and these are the things that really should, like, be disclosed when you buy a house. Like, you can't just assume that, yeah, it's because there's some septic work that needs to be done on the house, why it's $83,000 below market value. You know? Like, if there's something that, like, tragic happened there, you should definitely let the people know and let them decide whether they want to deal with that or not.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe the spirits of the family that perished were echoing through me. It's still something I get shivers thinking about. Hope this helps with your podcast. If you have any questions or want more details, just let me know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear back from you, especially, like, since you said that the house before the family had perished in the fire and all that, like, is there any other places around there, like, or I don't know, is they from
they
there
did
still?
they
Moved back?
I don't know, but he did say that there was a Confederate graveyard.
Right.
You know, so
Right, so
this
that's
kind of
where,
reminds
like,
me of Poltergeist, the movie,
yeah.
where there's the house is built on top of a cemetery.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Is it confounding because of the, like, not only is it a settled territory of indigenous land, like it brings me back to your story,
Mm-hmm.
but also because of the boarding school, which later on turned into the asylum, the state home, up until, well, when did they close that down? Like 2008, 2009? Like,
Something
it was
like that.
very
It was
recent. Very recently, because I had family that had worked there. And yeah, they held what they called the criminally insane there. And so, like, yeah, that brings it back, is if something already on those grounds that was already a war ground, that was already tainted, did that also have the effect on somebody that was already predisposed to collecting that kind of energy?
Yeah. So it's worth looking into.
Right.
But like, no, like, just for the record, your story, like, I got chills. Like, I actually felt cold reading it.
Our submissions
Like,
are actually really good. I'm happy that people have wrote in. I like that. So
your
keep 'em
submissions
coming,
bring
guys.
me joy.
I like stories.
I literally have a specific notification tone when I get emails through the No Thoughts Just Frosting email address or
See,
inbox.
I like that you're not that bothered by your phone making noise at you. For you to specifically set specific, like...
Girl, you have your own specific text tone when you message me.
I know.
My phone goes bring.
Bring. I mean, that's kind of the vibe.
And Jordan is like, I can't stand when my phone makes noises. That would drive me absolutely insane. I'm like,
I would smash it to a million pieces.
there's certain
If my
people in
phone
my
made
life
noise.
that I. Sorry, go ahead.
No, like, unless, like, I'm specifically, like, I know I have to answer that. Like, if my phone makes noise outside of, like, the mandatory vibration noise that it makes, I would lose my absolute loving fucking mind. I don't like that. I already hate the fact that it's in my pocket and anybody can get a hold of me at any time and they can ping in and see where the fuck I'm at. Don't leave me alone. If I want to talk to you, I'll find a way. You know, like I'll show up. Like,
I think that's the Gemini in you.
I don't know, cause like maybe because I like to
Or
be
it's just
social,
your
but then
personality.
I just like to also fuck off to nowhere. You know, like, you know.
See, and I have always been like a bit of a social butterfly, but then there's those random days where I'm just like, no, leave me alone. I am busy doing things that don't
like,
involve people.
No, if I want to people, I'll go out and fucking see people. I don't want to constantly be on my phone.
Right. So, but yeah, thank you for your listener stories. We're not ending the podcast episode just yet,
Right.
you know, but we are actually doing pretty good on timing. We're under an hour still,
Really?
and
Oh,
if it's a mini, it's a mini, you know.
Right. Well,
but
I mean, and it's just a beginning one. How long are you even aiming for? Like
between a half hour and an hour.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we go beyond the hour because we're just talking about whatever, or if we have a guest on that, like, we really need to cover a lot of stuff, we will record in parts. Or we'll record the whole thing, and then I'll figure out a way to, like, let's take a break, let's pause, save that file, and then move on with another one, or something like that, you know, but ideally, when we record, I want to record all the things in one fell swoop. And if we need to take breaks, we need to take breaks. But as far as releasing them, it'll be in parts if it's longer than an hour.
Right.
Like, I think the longest we'll go per episode is like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, maybe an hour and a half, but nothing longer than that. And
Right.
at that point, it would be like, okay, part 2 coming next time.
Right,
So.
and I would think with like different editing and things like that, with introductions and blah blah blah, then yeah. Huh.
I just realized we weren't recording an Audible, or not an Audible, MuseCube. So this is going on YouTube instead of Spotify. I just realized.
Oh no.
Shit. So there might be a way to access it otherwise. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, first episode, embrace the chaos. What do you know?
I don't know anything. That's what I know.
I'm just figuring it out as I go. I'm sorry.
You know, sometimes I picked this up in school, right? Because I went to general public school, 28 schools to be exact.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know, a lot of schools. I still graduated though. I was a good kid.
I can't relate. I'm sorry.
It was cool. I got to meet people.
Yeah, fair.
You know, so that was neat. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. What?
You went to 28 schools, something about figuring it out as we go.
Oh yeah, you don't have to retain it. You just have to know it long enough to get through it. And then once you get on, you're not necessarily going to need all of it or most of it or any of it. You're going to need more crap. So just get rid of the crap that you're really just struggling through. As long as you get through it, you're not going to fucking need it. So don't worry too much about it.
Right. So I semi-taught myself how to live stream on Twitch with a little bit of help.
Yeah.
But we're just kind of throwing this one together because people have been kind of waiting, and I'm like, I want to be able to do this, you know. And this is just our first episode. Who knows how many we're gonna do? We're gonna do a lot.
And I think that we'll be a little bit more organized just by force of habit. You know, like but yeah.
So
I did really enjoy the viewer submissions. I don't know, like, cause I guess. Because I didn't share mine, did I?
No, you didn't.
Which one did you want me to talk about? Because that's my Gemini, is because, like, I have those 2 stories, but, like, I don't know which one would be more relative to share, like the one going through Georgia or the one in my home.
I think the one in your home would be a good one to start with.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, because then like next time I guess we could talk about that one too. I don't know. I have to write these down. I always think about them last minute and then they like float away, you know.
Keep a note in your phone.
I fucking hate my phone. Did you not hear me? Did you not?
I heard you. I'm still telling you, it's a tool. Freaking use it.
I don't like it. I'll write it down somewhere, or I'll tell somebody about it, and they'll be like, you know what? You remember that one time? And I'll be like, as a matter of fucking fact, I do. So I forgot to write it down. Well, use your phone. I fucking hate that thing.
This is why we're friends. We are opposites in some way, but it's also like, hey.
I fucking hate it. I'll scratch that shit down in the earth and one fucking no.
So tell us your story.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
My story is more relative to the idea of like multiple dimensions and like multiple realities existing on top of each other, and sometimes they collide and interconnect, you know. Like one night I'm home alone, my boys were gone with their dad. I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I've got two light switches, one at the bottom of the stairs and then one at the top of the stairs, and I went to shut off like the stairwell light to go to bed. And for some reason, which is not a habit of mine, because I'm not a fucking nosy, curious bitch. I don't care what that noise over there was. Like, you'll never catch me going to find the fuck out unless I'm trying to leave. Like, I'm not that kind of girl. But,
Sorry.
no, you're good. I leaned my head over, like, around the corner to look down the stairwell, and as I am, something like my size, black silhouette, no kind of like detail other than general shape, shadow, looked back up at me as if it was like a mirror image. And then I kind of, you know, just kind of stood up, flipped the light off, and turned to go back to my room. And I had thought to myself, what the fuck was that? And in my head, it was like, don't worry about it, it was just the other you. Like, I'm wondering, like, if it was, like, mirror, you know, like, mirror vision is because, like, I'm, you know, daylight time, shadow side. Like, if it was just a mirrored reality and, like, in their reality, something was looking up at them as they were looking down at it, you know? I don't know. It was just a very uncanny feeling that I had felt that night, and I felt like it was like a slip in parallel kind of dimension type thing.
Like a portal kind of opened and you got a glimpse.
Yeah,
like a very hazy glimpse.
Like,
and
like
then...
you know, like realities when they're like shooting, because time isn't linear. It doesn't just go.
Right.
You know, like they cross, they collide, they zip down. And so maybe if it was like that mirror image, they collided and connected at that point in time doing that same activity, because why would they, you know, generally, unless it was that variant, you know? I don't know.
That makes sense. There actually, I'm probably going to flub the explanation, but like there's supposedly evidence to suggest that there are parallel universes.
Oh yeah, no, I have no doubt in that. I think that there's definitely more of a chance of there being parallel universes and multi-universes than there not being.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think, like I said, I really don't believe time is linear.
Right, and not only that, like, the other thing that makes me think is I don't think we're alone in the universe either, and...
I feel like we're amoebas in an ocean.
Yeah. That's a really good analogy, actually. So, and that's deep when you think about it. It's like that...
No thoughts, just frosting.
It's like, wait a minute. But it's like, there's a YouTube video that demonstrates like the size of things in the universe. It's like, here's our planet, here's our sun, and how much bigger it is. And then you see all these stars and black holes get progressively larger, and then like you see a little tiny itty bitty dot that eventually vanishes out of sight because everything has gotten so gargantuanly big.
Yeah.
And it's like...
that it's insignificant.
Yeah. And it's like, you think we're alone? Look at how big that freaking star... Look at how big that black hole is. And it's like...
Well, full
please.
circle back to that is that, like, with the parallel universe thing, is that, like, what if those feelings of dread and heaviness and the possession of catching on fire and the flash of the man outside the window. What if those are all interconnecting universes?
Are you trying to give me goosebumps?
Of course. No, I'm just trying to give you frosting.
Valid.
You know?
Valid.
Just a little icing on the cake of what the fuck is this. Yes.
You're making me think things that I didn't think of before, and I'm all like, mind blown.
See,
Anyway.
I tell you, every once in a while I have a thought or two.
Once in a while, I have rare moments of clarity, and then the rest of the time, I'm just like,
Then the rest of the time, I'm a cute goldfish.
You are a cute goldfish, especially like with your makeup today. Like, and I mean that as a compliment.
No,
I promise.
No, I promise. I promise, because of all the orange.
You're like the radiant golden goddess, and I'm over here like spooky shit.
I like that though; it fits.
Yeah, it does, and like. You're gonna come to find out that like her and I were best friends. We actually met through Jordan. Like Jordan and Nikki knew each other back in high school, and without necessarily giving away how old we are, we're millennials, elder millennials.
Elder millennials
Elder
at that.
millennials.
Yeah, we were before the RAR era.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was working at a particular alternative clothing store during the RAR era, so...
We had actual typing class on a typewriter, and then they introduced us to a computer. What was it? For you, it would have, still been elementary school, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I learned...
I miss typewriters.
My first experience with a computer, I was like 3rd grade, and there was this program called KidPix.
Oh yeah.
And I remember cracking up because like if you were going to type something or like use a letter, there was a different voice for every letter of the alphabet, and when you click T, the boy's voice is like T T. And I'm like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
You just lizard. There might be the tism there.
I don't care. It amused the fuck out of me.
Neither did the lizard. Yes.
So, but yeah, and then I think 4th or 5th grade was when we actually got introduced to the internet, and it was Netscape or Juno. Those were our internet browsers.
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves hadn't been created yet.
No, that was more towards middle school.
Yes, yes. I remember Ask Jeeves was, I think it was 7th or 8th grade for me because
they were still sending AOL on a CD in the mail.
You get 100 hours of AOL online or America Online, and we're like, yay, what's this?
Yeah.
You know, I remember the day that my mom got a freaking cable modem installed. It was 2005. I was 19. You do the math. My mom was like, well, if we have 2 phone modems, the internet's really slow, da-da-da-da-da, but if I get a cable modem, I can nix the other phone line and save this much money. So, some of us were pirates of music. Come for me. Sorry, not sorry.
You know what? But bigger thing though is that the artists themselves deserve to be paid and compensated more than what they are.
They do. And my mom, after the cable modem had been installed, she's breezing through web pages. She's like, oh, my mom was just flabbergasted at how fast the cable modem was moving for her. And I'm over at my laptop. I'm like, yeah, I've already downloaded 4 songs. And my mom looked at me. She's like, you've been downloading music this whole time? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, and it's not slowing down my web browsing? And I'm like, no. And she's like, pause. Oh my god, the cable modem is amazing! I'm gonna call your grandmother. And she literally called my grandmother, her sister, and both my sisters to tell them, oh yeah, get a cable modem, it's amazing. And I'm just like, I was using IRC chatting with a bunch of my Detroit friends, and I'm like, my mom is freaking out over how fast the cable modem is. And they're like, welcome to the 20th century. I'm like, fuck you.
Right.
So,
meanwhile, I'm over here mad as fuck, still trying to like typewrite my friends.
Right. And I remember, like, 6th grade was when I actually took a typing course, but it was, like, those big, heavy as fuck computers where you only get, like, 4 or maybe 6 colors on your screen.
They had the, like, black and green writing.
Yep.
Yeah, I love those. I could kick it with those. Those are alright. I'm telling you, 90s were the peak of human society.
90s and early 2000s.
Yes, I'll give you that. It hadn't gone to complete shit, but we were just figuring out coming off of the little little Quaalude high that the 80s gave everybody.
And I remember the what you remember this.
Y2K prepping because the world was gonna end, and
I remember staying up on New Year's Eve that night, and midnight strikes, and I'm like,
what happened?
The world didn't end. Okay.
Right.
Like, everything's fine. I'm going to bed.
Crashed. I mean, and could you imagine though, like with the Amazon Net or Amazon Web thing going out the other day?
I didn't even hear about that. What happened?
Oh yeah, like all the people that use like the network and stuff for Amazon, like, you know, that use like Square, I believe Sling was involved, like just all those kind of like that use that kind of browser net all over the world. All those servers went down for, I think it was a couple hours.
What?
Yeah, like I couldn't clock in and out of work or anything like that. Yeah, like we wrote it down obviously because you know, writing things down definitely comes in handy, kids.
Right?
And that's also one of the big reasons why I don't really like relying on electronic this and that. Like, I know that everybody's living in the electronic world and but like when something as little as one company shuts down so many people's workflow, or at least impedes it enough to be a fucking distraction, that's a problem.
They are predicting that there's going to be a really bad solar storm sometime, like, somewhat soon.
Since our alien friends are coming to visit.
Right.
It says that that solar body isn't reacting normally to the way that they would the solar flares. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta look this stuff up, man.
I need to do more research.
This is why I hang out inside. And you say use the tool. I use the tool, but the tool is fucking disarming.
Yeah.
Disarming. I don't even think that's a word. Disheartening. And alarming.
New word.
Disarming. It's disarming, guys. Put your phone down. Go touch some actual moss.
Yeah.
You don't even need grass now. You need the moss. They need to comfort.
Get the squish.
Give you the squish that you need in life.
So I think this would be a good place to call it, because I still want to take some outdoor photos.
Yep.
So, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Those of you who have tuned in or paid us a visit, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you do want to keep in contact with us on social media, we happen to be on there: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yep.
Just look up No Thoughts, Just Frosting. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next episode. Not sure when we're going to record it, probably in another week or so.
I was about to say pretty soon, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be next weekend because Jordan and I are taking Adeline to Youmacon down in Detroit. So
I'm so excited for her.
Yeah,
she dressing up?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
It depends on if that fucker's stuck living in a zoo or not. I don't know.
Valid. Good point. But no, like, we are definitely all about the, you know, be yourself, go knock your socks off, and
as long as you're intelligent and, you know, safe.
Don't be a dick, be a cool person, and dress up however you want. So, yeah, no.
Think before you do, kid.
Yes, yes. And she definitely has a brain on her. She also has a mouth, but that's totally fine.
Yeah, but I love her.
Yes.
She's sweet.
She's my buddy.
She's our baby.
Anyway, you all have a good night, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.